The fifth authorized rally of defrauded Izhevsk workers took place in Kazan's Krylia Sovetov Park. In addition to residents of Tatarstan, it was attended by residents from other regions, including St. Petersburg, Mariel, Yekaterinburg, and Samara. Parallel rallies were held in Novosibirsk and Izhevsk, and solo pickets were organized in Ufa. Meanwhile, authorities in 15 cities prohibited the protests. Before the trial, the victims discussed the details of the cases in their cities. The schemes and scale of the crimes vary across regions. "Okay, your developer is in jail, but ours continues to carry out his scams," a woman from Yekaterinburg told her interlocutor. Lyudmila and Evgeny Lyazin, parents of 5 from Samara, joined the conversation. They were the first victims of a fraudulent scheme by the company Kirstroy, which has affected 10 families in total. These include young families whose fathers went to the North Military District and disappeared without a trace. That means they're homeless, penniless, and the benefits they receive are absolutely horrendous. We're supporting these young, confused, out-of-towners who came to the Samara region to build, and we're doing it ourselves, Lyudmila explains. Natalia Dementieva, head of the initiative group of affected housing workers in Tatarstan, recalled at the opening of the rally that the president had declared during a 2024 live broadcast that no one would be left homeless and that the issue would be resolved. We thought our president's directive was mandatory. A year has passed, we've written over 1,000 letters from every region. And what's the response? Only recommendations. The central bank recommends that banks write off debts. The Ministry of Construction, the Ministry of Finance, and Dom.rf recommend that the Republic resolve the issue itself. Yes, in Tatarstan they offered us another mortgage, but we are ordinary citizens, mothers. We work for an average salary. Where will we get the money for another mortgage? Dementieva said. Anna Vakhmiakova of Yekaterinburg, representing the Sverdlovsk and Chelyabinsk regions, added that after appealing to Russian President Vladimir Putin, they were summoned to the Regional Ministry of Construction, but no real action was taken. The Euro-region Stroy company continues to operate under affiliated entities, meaning the director has not been jailed or detained, she emphasized. According to Vakhmiakova, approximately 70 families in the Sverdlovsk and Moscow regions have suffered from the company's actions. At the same time, Yulia Favorova and Inna Dmitrieva note a growing number of victims. According to them, while previously there were about 4 or 5 companies and about 800 victims, the number is now growing. To achieve this, an official registry of victims must be created. Without it, we cannot move forward, they noted. As a reminder, during a live broadcast in December, Putin drew attention to a business online poster with the caption, "Deceiving families with children." Our correspondent, Elena Kolobakino-Osmanova, reported that a group of fraudsters in Tatarstan had defrauded hundreds of people. They took out preferential mortgages with state support, but their homes were never built. Meanwhile, these people continue to pay their mortgages to banks for essentially nothing. The Republic's prosecutor, Albert Syargulov, has taken special care of the investigation. Following the press conference, our newspaper alone received over 170 appeals from victims in Tatarstan, St. Petersburg, the Leningrad and Kostroma regions, Udmurtia, Bashkortostan, the Far East, and elsewhere. Individual families and regional initiative groups contacted the newspaper, submitting lists of hundreds of names. In June, Alexander Aksenenko, deputy chairman of the State Duma Committee on Construction and Housing and Public Utilities, proposed creating a unified federal registry of affected individual housing construction borrowers. British lawmakers demanded action and answers following an unprecedented leak from the government's independent forecaster on Wednesday morning that basically laid out the measures of a crucial tax-raising budget ahead of the official statement. According to Associated Press, the biggest change in terms of money raised, according to the leak from the Office for Budget Responsibility, is freezing the levels at which earners pay Britain's different tax levels, meaning as wages rise, more people fall into higher tax brackets. Other measures include a mansion tax on high-valued properties, changes to the capital tax regime and a cut to tax-free provisions for private pensions. According to the leaked documents from the OBR, which it has apologized for, the government will raise £26 billion in 2029-30. The OBR blamed a technical error for the leak, saying it went live on our website too early this morning. It said it will report to all relevant authorities, including the Treasury, as to what happened. Leader of the opposition Kemi Badenoch called the leak a complete shambles, as Prime Minister Keir Starmer appeared to skirt around her demand for an explanation. The leak prompted a rare statement from the House of Commons Deputy Speaker, Nusrat Ghani, who criticized a disappointing trend of budget briefings by successive governments, labeling Wednesday's OBR leak a supreme discourtesy to this House. It is utterly outrageous that this has happened, and this leak may indeed constitute a criminal act, said Shadow Treasury Chief Mel Stride. The leak is a further embarrassment for the United Kingdom centre-left Labour government following weeks of speculation and mixed signals that unsettled the markets. The budget, Reeve's second since Labour returned to power after 14 years with a landslide election victory in July 2024, could prove pivotal in the fortunes of both Reeves and her boss, Prime Minister Keir Starmer.
With resignations, hostile briefings and leaks galore, even just in the last 10 minutes, an unprecedented leak of the OBR analysis. Mr. Speaker, these leaks have been so serious that even the former chief economist of the Bank of England has said, and I quote, that Labour's fiscal fandango is the single biggest reason why growth has flatlined. Does the Prime Minister agree with Andy Haldane, and does he have an explanation for this complete shambles?
We all know the biggest shambles in living history, the Liz Truss budget. And what did she say? Did she say, I don't agree, this must be wrong? No, she said, I think Liz Truss is 100% right. 100%. Not much room for flexibility. Not one thing was wrong with it, in her view. So we won't be taking lectures from her. Matters for the OBR, the Chancellor will set out the budget in just a few minutes' time.
Mr. Speaker, we're talking about the leaks. The Prime Minister doesn't seem to appreciate the impact of these budget leaks on the UK economy. Even the Chief Secretary to the Prime Minister has said this morning that the leaks were unacceptable. So will the Prime Minister launch an investigation into the budget leaks and punish those responsible?
Mr. Speaker, it's literally about 25 minutes before the budget will be set out in August.
On a point of order, Madam Deputy Speaker, this morning we have seen an unprecedented leak of the OBR's Economic and Fiscal Outlook report before the budget.